I need to push myself. I've never done that, cold outreach, but I have to push myself and go and really try to talk to people, try to find what did I do wrong if it didn't work, optimize, then try again. Last week, I decided that I'm going to start building my own lead generation agency. In this video, I'm going to talk about what did I do in my first week and a little bit about my background, why I believe I can make this lead generation agency successful very fast. When I was 20, I started building an Amazon FBA business in Germany while I was a bartender. And as a bartender in Germany in that time, it was I think my third job, I earned roughly 1,200 per month. But with my Amazon FBA business, which I built after I think 5 months, I earned 4,000 per month. So I made basically 3 times more with my Amazon FBA business, which ran passively, than in my main job, where I have to work every day. I think I did part-time 4 times a week for 6 hours. I earned more passively with my business than actively with my job. And that was very eye-opening for me. I always wanted to get into business, and this was the first thing I tried, and it was successful. So that set me up for other things. After I built my Amazon FBA business, to go very fast, I built an e-commerce store for phone cases in Germany and scaled up to 40,000 per month in revenue. And in that time, I was in a community in Germany, and in that community, I was like, because I was the most successful in that community in that time, I was on stages. I gained the experience of also gaining some fame from that time. It was a very interesting, fun time, big roller coasters, because one day I made 2,700 in a day in revenue. Then the next day went to zero. Then I went up again and then to zero. Wild times. I didn't know what I was doing with the Facebook ads and with the business. And the reason why I went from Amazon FBA and didn't continue that, I went to online stores because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn how to do customer service, how to do the whole process of shipping and logistics and all the things that Amazon takes care for you. I wanted to do it myself and build that process so I can learn and grow more and understand things better. After I built that store, I took part in the e-commerce store, which was about medical pictures. So I basically took ownership in that company. And I found this guy through the community, and he was at 10,000 in revenue and 1,000 in profit at that time per month. And in 6-7 months, I showed him what products to build, what target audience we should what audience we should target, how the Instagram account should be like how the content we create on the Instagram account, how to run the ads, and all of kind of stuff. Basically, I was involved in every step, and I guided him what to do based on the learnings I had from my own store. And then we scaled this one up to 80,000 per month. And this is basically what I've done until I was like 27. I was very heavy in e-commerce, running stores, running ads, and doing consultant for other people, helping them. And with 27, I decided I wanted to get into IT space because I didn't want to deal with all the overhead and the lower margins of e-commerce. Usually you have a margin of like 30, 40%. Sometimes we had like 50, but it depends on how profitable the ads were. So roughly we had like 30, 40% in profits. But I wanted to get into something where I need less people, less overhead, high margin. So I was like, let me get into IT space and get into the app business. I had an app idea. So I looked for people that can build that app, but realized very fast that good people who build your app are expensive, they are hard to find. Good people are really hard to find. You have to trust them that they build good code. This is what people said back in the day. You have to look and try to find people who build good and maintainable code. The problem was I didn't have any experience. So for me to find this person and spend all this money was very risky. So I decided I'm going to learn app development myself. So what I did was in the first 1.5 years, I learned app development. I paid mentors. I paid for courses. I spent a lot of time on YouTube and Googling and finding solutions for the things I want to build. And after 1.5 years, I built my first app. It was really good, kind of successful, but I didn't see the end result, if this is successful, is not what I wanted, and was super hard because I wanted something. My original plan was to have something which has a high margin. And the problem here was that the cost for the data made it so hard to make it profitable or have a low margin. I realized it after 1.5 years. But I learned a lot. I learned so much. So what I did was, after that, I started another business and tried it for like 3 months. I was like, let me try this for 3-4 months. And I'm going to see if this makes sense or if it doesn't make sense. After 3-4 months, basically what I did was I organized football games in Germany. I built an app where people can buy spots in these games. And then we just play the games. It was successful. The games are always full and everybody was happy. It was an amazing experience. I miss those games a lot. It was so fun. I can maybe put some parts of that period. I have some videos of us playing. But I realized that also is a lot of overhead to scale, low margin. So what I did was I saw one guy, he made a lot of money with an app, which is basically just I don't want to say whatever it is because it's still live, but it's a utility app, an app that helps you improve your life. And it only happens on your own phone. So you have absolutely no cost. And this guy made 50,000 with that app, 50 per month. And the only cost you have are the 15% of the app stores. This is the only cost you have. So he made a lot of profit. So I was like, I'm going to build the same app. I'm going to make it better than him. And I'm going to scale it up. And I built this app because of my past experience where it took me like months, and it took me like, the first app, it took me 1.5 years to build. The second app took me, I think, 6 months to build. So I built that app in roughly like 3 months. I stopped the business with the football games, and I launched this app in May, I think. It was in June last year, 2024, which is now, I think, 9 months old. So now after 9 months, it generates passive income for me. It's not 50,000, but it takes time for me to get up in the rankings, etc., etc. So I'm doing that still on the side because there's not much to do. Then I'm running tests, and these tests need like 2 weeks to execute. Why I'm starting an agency after going all that? Also, you don't need a lot of people. You can scale it up to a high number, and I can use that money then and that expertise and that company and that team I have in marketing then to use more for building my own businesses. Now I just want to focus on what did I do in the first week of my LGA agency, my lead gen agency. What I have to say is last week I started on Wednesday. I started on Wednesday with purchasing a course and started actually doing stuff. And basically what I did was I was in live calls of that community. I was in a kickoff call of the creator of that community. Then I started building my website. I want to have an elementary business website, which I can just a basic website. So I have it there and I can prove it later. I have to find a name for my agency. I created the logo for my agency. I now have to decide what niche I'm going to target first. Then I'm going to decide what kind of marketing channel I'm going to use to try to get my first client. Either I do email marketing, I do cold calling, or I run ads. Ads, probably not, because I first have to gain experience in a niche, understand how people talk, like how people communicate, what words they use, what issues they face, so I can dial in my ads and my landing page to get basically clients through ads. So ads for now is on the side, and I'm going to focus that later. So what I'm going to do this week I'm going to finish the website, decide what niche I'm going to target. Then I'm going to create a plan exactly how I'm going to approach the client, like things I'm going to say, topics I'm going to talk about, services I'm going to offer. And then I'm going to contact them, the first people, and see what result I can get out of it. Next week, I'm going to show you what results I was able to get in my second week of trying to get clients. This is basically my first week. I'm trying to get clients. And next week on Sunday, I'm going to talk about what I was able to achieve. This is an honest review. I have no idea if I'm able to get my first clients. I don't know if my niche is the right one for me. So I have to figure it all out. I have to see how I'm trying to get my first client as fast as possible and make money for him. I want to create high quality leads for him and then create a case study to then be able to get clients easier. So the first client, I'm not targeting to charge the first client because it's more about the case study than the money I'm getting. Because usually when you tell someone I can bring you high quality leads and you make more money than you spend on my agency, then the only real problem is if he believes that I can deliver on it. So that's why I need case studies. So this is my goal for this week, is to at least get discovery calls with people and then try to book them for a sales call and then see what I can close. I'm gonna maybe try to get paid for it, but my goal is the case study. One thing I really have to admit is that in the last week I am still overwhelmed because there's so many things you have to figure out and do that I'm trying to have clarity of exactly the steps I need to take and how to do it. Like the issue is more, I feel like the issue for me is more in the specifics. Like you can say, yeah, you have to decide the niche, build a website, establish the business, create the logo, find the name, then try to find contact customers, know how to talk to them and all the steps. But actually doing them, I feel like this cost me the most time. Just figuring out exactly how to do those things, like how to build a website, because I want to build the website as good as possible and try to make it right, try to make it good. And it's so easy to get trapped into the state of perfection instead of going out there and talking to people and trying, because you make mistakes and you learn from them. I feel like this is the hardest part, and I feel like this is the reason why most marketing agencies and people fail trying to do that. I'm going to be honest and document all of that here, how it is for me, and I need to push myself. I've never done that, cold outreach, but I have to push myself and go and really try to talk to people, try to find what did I do wrong if it didn't work, optimize, then try again. I think like success is built in that. I've done it in e-commerce. This is different. For me, outreach, cold outreach, I feel for me it's super hard. Like I've never done it, but I'm gonna try to push myself here and do that. And this is exactly what I'm gonna document. I think this is also very valuable for people who thought about starting an agency or started an agency and failed, or still have an agency and trying to make it successful. So yeah, let's see how the next week is gonna be. Maybe I'm able to get my first client by the end of the week. Yeah, but it's tough if you never built an agency and then you have to go out there and talk to people, because I don't know if I can deliver for the niche. I've never done it before, but I'm gonna be straightforward and honest with the people that I have expertise in running ads and marketing part, online marketing, but not in this industry, not in that way. So I have to push myself. I have to overcome a lot of barriers, and this is the biggest thing. I have to do this week.